Hello, everyone. You're on the F Recap channel, and this is a brief summary of the movie A Sound of Thunder from 2005. This sci-fi film explores the consequences of time travel and how it can impact the course of history. In the year 2055, a technology was developed that could either change the world or destroy it. Charles Hatton sought to use it for profit. During an era when dinosaurs roamed the earth, wealthy people were sent back in time to see what the world was like then. Their guide was Travis. He explained that their weapons wouldn't fire until he first shot his own, a safety feature to prevent reckless actions. In the distance, a dull thud could be heard. The dinosaur was coming straight toward them. Once it stepped into the thick mire, they opened fire, taking down the predator as it slowly sank into the liquid. After some time, they returned to the present day. Charles congratulated them on a fantastic hunt, calling the group the bravest to step into the past. John joked that his heart was still racing with fear. Dr. Lucas added that it was a normal physiological response to the jump. Heart rate slows as adrenaline levels drop. Travis, however, wasn't among the guests. He was busy analyzing data on the dinosaur. He was interrupted by Charles as the clients wanted Travis to join them. He had prepared a recording of the hunt, and according to the data, it was John who killed the dinosaur. Not everyone approved of Charles's business. Sonia was one of the opponents of time travel, believing it was too dangerous, with potentially irreversible consequences. Charles, on the other hand, saw nothing wrong with it. 100 years ago, Sonia would have opposed the internet. Those are the kind of people who fear progress, he said. But Travis had second thoughts and caught up with her. It turned out that Sonia was the one who had invented the time machine. She didn't have the money but wanted to prove herself to other scientists, so she signed a contract with Charles. However, the contract stated that everything she invented belonged to the company. That was why her name wasn't on the list of creators. Travis took Sonia to his lab. He was studying the DNA of the ancestor of lions. Nearly all the animals in their world had been wiped out, and with them, their DNA. According to the rules, nothing could be brought back from the past, but he had invented a method for remotely reading DNA. Partial moments were gradually accumulated, allowing them to piece together the DNA of animals that survived before the virus outbreak. Technically, they were hunting a dinosaur that was supposed to die at that exact moment in time, meaning they couldn't affect the world. Sonia tried to explain that there was no absolute guarantee, and if something went wrong, all of evolution could change. And that's exactly what happened. Tech stumbled and damaged a capsule without noticing. He inserted it into the device and left, while liquid started leaking out, corroding the weapon. A new day dawned, and a new group of travelers arrived at the firm. Before their journey, they had to sign the necessary paperwork. There were only two travelers, Eccles and Middleton, and each was given a new weapon. Laser rifles shooting liquid nitrogen bullets that dissipate after a few minutes. Middleton didn't understand how ice could kill a dinosaur. Travis disabled the safety and destroyed a target. The second rule of time travel is, leave nothing behind. The third rule, bring nothing back. And most importantly, the first rule, change nothing. Even killing a single bee could mean the flower it was supposed to pollinate would not produce seeds, setting off a chain reaction of consequences. The deeper in the past you go, the greater the changes will be. After finishing their preparations, the group traveled through time. Eccles ignored the rules and immediately attempted to eliminate an insect. That's why the automatic safety mechanism was enabled. A butterfly flew away in fright. Regardless, they prepared to kill the same dinosaur, but the acid had jammed the safety mechanism, preventing the removal of the safety on the other weapons. Travis had the idea to distract the dinosaur with a bright light, and the time was enough to repair the weapons and take down the dinosaur. Everything seemed to go well, except for one thing. A footprint was left behind. That very night, an invisible wave swept across the world, drastically changing the weather. Travis dismissed it as the unpredictability of autumn weather. The hotel worker couldn't recall it ever being 20 degrees Celsius in November. The next day, the temperature rose even higher, to 30 degrees Celsius. Overnight, 1,000 fish washed ashore. Scientists had no explanation for the phenomenon. Travis was stunned. A plant that had withered just the day before bloomed overnight. The same thing was happening all over the city. Plants were emerging from the ground. Astonishingly, One of the growths was a meter-thick wall. Another time travel expedition was set to start today. Travis had the feeling that something was wrong. Things were much worse. The dinosaur was already dead, and a volcano began to erupt. They needed to get back to the exit as quickly as possible. Travis asked the AI why the jump had been delayed by 5 minutes, and it assured him that the calculations were correct. On behalf of the Time Authority, the Enterprise was now shut down until further notice. Travis feared that their previous jump had altered something, which was why they had jumped 5 minutes late today. Although the computer detected no errors, there was someone who could definitely solve the problem. Sonia. But first they had to reach her, which was complicated by the rapid spread of the plants causing numerous accidents throughout the city. Just as Travis managed to find her, a new wave of changes enveloped the entire planet. Millions of carnivorous insects began devouring everything in their path. Travis tore out a pipe and sprayed water on the insects, but the water hit the electricity, forcing the pair to jump down. They were lucky there were large trees below to break their fall. Sonia explained that changes in the past don't immediately reflect in the future. It's like ripples from a stone thrown into water. Each subsequent wave could be stronger than the previous one. The final wave would change humans, and time to fix things was running out. They had one small chance. Travis had to return to the moment before the jump that altered history and bring the group back, avoiding the critical mistake. However, when Travis travels back in time, he ends up in the era of the Native Americans, who are running from the time wave. He urgently needs to get back to the portal, but the wave is faster. The entire lab ends up destroyed, and the electricity is gone, possibly worldwide. Travis wants to watch the recordings to find out what they changed, but notices nothing. He wonders if they might have brought something back. Sonia is confident this couldn't be the case, as the biofilter would have prevented it. However, Charles, in an effort to save money, had disabled the biofilter because it consumed too much energy. While they were discussing what to do next, the phone stopped working. Tech disabled the safety mechanism on all the weapons, and the group went outside. They needed to reach Eccles. Their path took them through a park, which was now inhabited by previously unknown animals, leaving tracks that looked like a mix between a tiger and a monkey. But why was there webbing everywhere? Suddenly, Tech was attacked by a plant, and his body was covered in thorns. Dr. Lucas removed them but worried they might be poisonous. Just as they caught their breath, the doctor was caught by a new inhabitant of the planet. Travis opened fire, but the creature's skin was impenetrable. Though earlier, large dinosaurs were pierced as if through butter, the creature's lower side was softer, allowing Lucas to escape. But now a new pack of monkey-like creatures was approaching. Tech had no more strength to run, and he asked the group to leave him behind so they'd have a chance to set things right. He might return to life. After some time, the group came across other survivors. Eccles was still at his home. Inspecting the time travel gear, they couldn't find the necessary traces. They still needed to find Middleton. Eccles told them where to find him. It wasn't within walking distance, but there was a car in the basement. Unfortunately, there were no keys, but Dr. Lucas had lock-picking skills. The group arrived at the office, where people had died from the thorns, and those still alive were driven mad by the venom, including Middleton, who walked away on his own. Checking his belongings, they found a butterfly crushed into the sole of his boot. On the way to the lab, they were attacked by a new bird. Its claws were so strong they could cut through metal, and the doctor became its victim. At that very moment, the world was enveloped by a new wave of changes. The lab was flooded, making it impossible to return in time. They needed to find a new location. If they removed the AI and put it into a new machine, they could create a new portal. Opening a cabinet, they found an agent who asked them to stay quiet, as monsters lived there, and they couldn't afford to wake them up. To get to the Institute, they had to go down into the subway. Fortunately, it was still passable. Suddenly, the tunnel flooded with water, trapping the group. While they were making a plan, a monster broke through the glass, and one of the team members fell victim to it. The others struggled to hold on, but a giant tail grabbed Travis's legs, dragging him toward its mouth. Luckily, some train debris collapsed onto the monster, allowing them to escape. The Institute still had power thanks to a backup generator. Sonia quickly adjusted the machine and sent Travis back in time. just moments before the next wave would change humanity. Travis found Jenny and told her that Charles had disabled the biofilter. After that, he stopped Middleton from stepping on the butterfly. At that moment, Travis disappeared, meaning he had fulfilled his mission. And that's the end of the movie. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button. Bye.